gentlemen, we are back, and today we're talking to the champion, Jeramy Karshner. How you been doing, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. I'm real good. Yourself? Everything good, Elijah?
Oh yeah, I'm hanging in there. If I was any better, I'd think I'd died and gone to heaven.
I understand it. Got it.
But man, we've not seen you in a little while. I've not gotten to talk to you about it. Winning that title, knocking out Alex Davis. Before we talk about the future, let's talk about that. Talk me through that fight. How'd that feel winning that NLC heavyweight title?
It felt really good. I set out a goal for myself. The title was never part of my goal. It was just a bonus and an added perk to my 6-fight win streak. I set my mind to it and said, I'm going to train harder than I have. I'm going to be ready to fight. Instead of getting ready to fight, I'm always going to be ready. And that's why I approached a year, and I ran all 6 straight, and I did it in less than 12 months. I think I did it in 11. So it felt really good.
And I know you're kind of a goal-oriented guy. You're working all the time. You got your own business. You talk about, showing your kids it's important to have goals and to work toward them. What's next for you? I know you've probably got another goal in mind since you fulfilled that one.
Well, my goal in mind was to win 6 straight and then take a big fight on a big card for good money and say, I made it. To know that, at 40 years old, started boxing late in my life and fighting, to know that I made it. Didn't matter the outcome in the big fight. I knew I'd go out there and give everything I had, but I wanted to say I did it. And that, I made it. I've had some fight offers come in. They were on big cards for a joke of money. And I don't need that money. I don't need that. If you want me to fight that caliber of individual, I'll fight them. But there's also a price tag, and I know the worth of it. And, I did take a fight, and I was going to fight Trey Lippy. Unfortunately for Mr. Lippy, he was in a bad car accident the same day that I accepted it. I haven't heard any updates. I hope everything is well with him. Things happen. So once that happened, I put the reset button on and thought, all right, now I'm going to come back out on the regional scene, and I'm going to go ahead and try to continue my streak, and hopefully the big call will finally come.
Well, that brings us to now. You've got your first title defense coming up against Justin Richwine. He's another Ohio fighter, and he's a guy I'm sure you're pretty familiar with. I'm sure you've been watching his fights. So tell me what you think about him.
Richwine is, I've seen him in MMA, and I've seen him in person and live. He is always going to come, and he's going to be willing to fight. He's going to come out there. He's going to give it 100%. You're going to expect a dog fight. You're going to expect him to come out there and be ready. I believe that he's doing what it takes to be there and be prepared just as I am. So, I think it's a good matchup for both of us. Both of us are older gentlemen coming from MMA. We're coming over. We're both looking to continue the things we do right, and trying to continue on and be good at what we're doing.
This is a matchup I've thought about a lot before it happened, because on paper, stylistically, you guys are such a unique clash. What are some tools that you have that you think he might struggle with?
I don't know if he'll struggle with anything in particular that I have, and vice versa myself with him. I guess the big thing that will come, I believe, when we fight on August 5th is, who wants it more? We're going to find out. And there's only one way to find out which one of us want it more. Which one of us is going to dig deep when we get in those late rounds? Who's going to be putting that road work in? Is he running the 5 miles I'm running? Is he doing the things I'm doing? And that's the only thing you're going to be able to find out. And I think, that's going to be what we'll have to find out on August.
It's interesting. I've talked to you a lot before quite a few of your fights. It seems like you definitely got a lot of respect for Richwine. What's it like fighting a guy that you really, tend to respect as a fighter compared to, maybe some of your past opponents, which, not mentioning any names, not disrespecting anybody, but just, I can tell that Richwine's kind of a step up in caliber of opponent. and you definitely respect him as a fighter.
You know, Richwine's a lot like I am, I believe, as a family man. He seems, I don't know a lot about him. You know, when this fight came up, he had to check his son's birthday. That came foremost. That gives me the respect for the gentleman. You know, some of the other people I fought, you know, I always have respect for everybody that I walk in there with, you know, if you don't respect them. But sometimes I don't respect them maybe as a man or their personal choices or what I believe they're doing wrong. I'm not saying I'm great by any means. I have my own flaws. But, you know, I look at him and, you know, as a fighter, I respect him as a man and a fighter. So that might probably be the difference.
And so, what's your training been looking like, man? I've not touched base with you in a while. I know you've been working a lot in Zanesville there with Zane Fry at his place. You guys train a lot together. What's been up?
So I transitioned a lot of my training over to Chad Van Sickle and Jerry Page, and also my longtime boxing coach, Brian DeLeon, always there for me. But coming into, you know, the drive out to VO2 is a haul for me. Most people don't know it. It's probably an hour and 10 minutes one way for me to get there. I made it work for a whole year. Best ways to part our ways on the way that we did it. And I made my move into Jerry Page and Chad Van Sickle, which a lot of people didn't know it when I was off. And no one saw me behind the lights when I was preparing to try to make my run 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I was with Chad Van Sickle. He was helping me get ready. And, you know, I kind of stumbled on to Justin because, to be honest with you, I went out to spar Justin because he fought Justin Richwine. And I wanted to take the fight and I wanted to see where I was. So I went out there and I ended up liking Justin Teddy Bear very much. And I kind of started going out there more, but that's what had traveled me out there, was to see where I stood at that time. And it was like, well, because I kind of had a couple calls and asked me if I'd be interested in the matchup. And they just it didn't come through, the matchups, but I wanted to see where I was at.
And so, is there anything you're doing differently to prepare for Richwine that you haven't done in your past fights, or is it more business as usual?
It's business as usual. I do what I do. I used to run a lot. Now I hit the stair stepper. Feel like an old man in there till I get about 12 minutes in and I'm dying on that thing. But you know, I think my biggest thing is right now with Richwine and that I've been working with Chad and Jerry and Brian is my pocket work. You know, I love to fight outside. Everybody knows I do. No one ever watches me fight inside. Because a lot of times when I get in there, I like to try to bully it around or throw or be aggressive. And this fight, you're going to see a little bit more fluid, I believe, once I hit that pocket. And I don't know that anybody's watched me really box unless you ever watch me spar. I'm going to try to come out, and that's what I'm going to look like, is I'm going to box a little more this round.
And, you know, really, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, every time we get to touch base and talk, you know, you're not just, it's not just about you. It's about your family. You're a family-driven guy. Your family, they're doing some big stuff in sports as well. So I want to check in on them. What have they been up to?
You know, it's been a roller coaster with my son with football. He had offers, and then, you know, transfer portal killed him. People transferring in, bouncing around. It looked like we had settled in on a college. He went and played in the district all-star Ohio football game. And while we were there, he talked to the Columbus Fire Department, and after the next day he looked at me and he said, "I think I'm going to go be a fireman instead of going and doing college, going to play football. I want to just go straight into the workforce. I want to be a fireman." And that's where we have now directed him to. My daughters, oh my God, it's been a busy. It was a busy June. I had my one of my basketball daughters. She was from Eastern Tennessee to Cedar Point tournaments to Findlay basketball playing. She played up this summer. Didn't get a lot of playing time, but it's okay. Playing up varsity, go be a freshman. And then I had my other daughter, who's only going to be in 7th grade, playing up with the JV team. And then my other daughter playing travel volleyball. So my summer has been, I feel like a pinball sometimes. I was just all over the place. So
That's what we were talking about a little before the interview started. I was like, I don't know how you have enough hours in the day to do everything you're doing.
at times I ask myself why I got myself into half the stuff I get myself into. I'll be honest, I slept maybe 4 hours last night. And then I got up this morning, I got my work situated. And then at 9 a.m., I was with Jerry Page for 2 hours working. And then after that, I went right back to business as usual with my work and keeping everybody rolling and doing the things I need to do. So, I've just, over time, I've been able to learn to balance it all, I guess. At times I could do better. I'd say my kids probably get mad at me sometimes, think I should be home more, and I should be. But I only got this one chance to make this run, and I feel like it's now.
And still, you find the time to talk to me. I don't know how you do it. You're probably going to be way behind now.
I don't know if I'm going to be way behind, but I left a social gathering so I could come talk to you. I think you was a little prettier than everybody else that was here, so I left them.
Well, that makes me feel awful good. That's a great way to end it. You got anything left to say to the people, my friend, champ?
I just appreciate everything, New Line, all the other companies that, allow me to come in and, let me work over this last year. Let me, come in and, make my run. I appreciate everybody that's been on board with me. I want to thank, Jessica Emmerich. Man, I can't thank her enough for everything that she does. She has a huge fight the same night I do. Somewhere else, it was a tough decision that I had to, pretty much talk her into taking. But not because of the opponent, because she didn't want to leave me or me not be there with her. But, and then Brian DeLeon and Jerry Page and Chad Van Sickle, I want everybody to see what they've been doing with me. I want everybody to see. And, I appreciate my kids letting me have this, one last hurrah. Not everybody gets it at 40. Some of us, Archie, looking back, people's thinking about the past in the high school and things they used to do. And I'm still been able to live that moment.
Well, I can say personally, it's been an honor to watch you compete. This streak you've been on has been inspiring to me. And I can't wait to see where it goes.
Well, I really appreciate that. But I promise you guys, as always, I'm coming to bang. We know that I don't come out there to, I'm not a big decision guy. I don't believe in those. Win, lose, or draw. I don't think either one of us needs to go to a decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your heavyweight champion, Jeramy Karshner.
Thanks, sir.